Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and I'm in the Shadow-Cursed lands.
And I'm Claire, and I just throw stuff.
And this is Make That Game!
Where we talk about the latest.
The greatest.
We pitch them. Oh my gosh.
I was just going to let it slide.
Where we pitch the latest.
The greatest.
New video game ideas.
That aren't ever going to get made.
Like, we do talk about them, but the highlight is the pitching.
Like, a pitch is talking about it.
Right,
so it fits. It works.
But if you just say
it's
talk
just not
about,
our thing.
it doesn't imply that we made it up. And it also would be, So, sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
it's okay. I think they've forgiven us. I think we're all ready to move on and actually pitch a game. That's what we do here. We come up with game ideas. We've been doing themes lately. I don't think we said the theme on last episode.
We didn't, but Isaac did set it as business.
The theme is business.
Right.
So I'm actually going to break away from tradition, and I'm going to start myself off here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. We're not bouncing back and forth here. No, I am just going to seize the day. Carpe diem.
Okay. What are you, a newsie?
What?
Oh, Seize the Day is a big song in the Newsies, so.
The only song from the Newsies I remember is the one about Santa Fe.
Yeah, I mean, that is the most important one.
It is the only important one, in my opinion. But, okay, so, business. Do you know what we talk about a lot on this game podcast, this podcast about games? We talk a lot about tycoon games.
Yeah, I was going to say this category was very hard because we have done a lot of games that would fall in this category.
Yep. And so I didn't want to just do another tycoon game because honestly, tycoon game is almost a fallback of if like a rapid fire round includes money at all, it's just like, oh yeah, okay, it's a tycoon game. So what I have is a game. It's called Micromanaged.
Okay.
And it is a business. I haven't specified a business as generic business as possible. It's just
gotcha.
You play office worker. There are like mini games or tasks for each job, and you've got to keep things running smoothly by playing the mini games. You have to do your job. So, the copy machine might have like a little mini game associated with it. There might be like a typing mini game going on. A little like 3x3 match 3 kind of thing, or like small puzzle game sort of deal. So each thing to do has a little mini game that you want to do as quickly as possible because in order to keep your productivity up, you have to keep doing all these tasks. But there's a twist.
Yes, do tell.
You, the player, are every single worker in the business. You switch between each worker, and you have to micromanage. They don't do anything without you doing it. So you are not just one person walking around, oh, I have to deposit the paperwork. So here's like this quick time event, like swiping mini game, like the Percy Jackson critical hit thing.
Yeah.
We talked about the Percy Jackson game on a previous episode, so go back and read that one or listen to that one for context.
I mean, I don't know how much context we gave in that one, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you have to keep the productivity of every worker in the organization up, and as your productivity goes up, your profits go up, your business gets bigger, you have to control more and more people until you just crash out and can't do it anymore.
Okay.
That's my game.
So I'm feeling like this is basically like Diner Dash.
Yes, but you aren't just one person.
How does that feasibly work?
From
like a logistical perspective, like say the task is like, I got to write these reports, print them out, get them signed, and then mail them out. So you'd write the report, and then you would turn into the person who's going to do like the copies, but then the person who wrote the report just sits there.
All right, let's do a little design. Some tasks won't necessarily be like a full mini game. They might just be trigger a task, and then it takes some amount of time to do. Like it's basically a timer bar, and so managing event tasks and timer tasks can be a part of it. So you have a worker go do like a timer task, and then you're like, okay, if I'm fast enough, I can do like 2 event tasks with other characters real quick. Or, oh, shoot, I left Bob in the break room. He's going to spend half the timer task getting to the copy machine.
So he wouldn't be able to walk while you're doing something else.
Correct. So, okay. You're Bob. You're doing something. You go to the break room. You switch to Trevor. Trevor, you go to the computer and you start a task that's going to take 15 minutes, like read emails or something, right? You switch back to Bob. He's still in the break room, so you have to walk him to the copy machine. And walking to the copy machine as Bob, being the player, takes time.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't just teleport to the copy machine.
Right.
The idea is that you have to micromanage these people.
I like that this is a unique mechanic, but it's also like really inefficient.
Like, micromanaging, to be clear, is a bad thing.
Right.
The game is about being forced to do a bad thing.
Would there be like, because you said that the goal is like to up productivity. Would there be like any kind of indicator or like way to know how that's doing?
Yeah. Like, let's say it's based on like a daily thing. So every day you'd get like an end of day report. Like, you filed 10 paperworks. You've copied 15 files.
I think it would be
You've
cool.
sent 14 emails.
I think it'd be cool if it was kind of Sims-like in the sense that you can see all the workers and like their status bars. So like as you're having someone do one, like you can't let someone get to 0 productivity. So like once you do a task, the bar's at like 100, and then when you leave them, it like decreases at a certain rate. So it's like you have to touch base with everybody a certain amount of times per day or they quit or something.
Yeah, I do imagine that there would be a UI that like shows you like what people are actively doing. Yeah. And like if they're doing a timer task, it would show you like a timer, and it would probably show you like their current location and stuff. And then that would also be how you like quickly switch between
but
who
I was
you're
thinking
controlling.
that there should be like there should be a consequence. Like say you just like never use Bob. You just feel like he's useless today. Like there should be a consequence for that because you want everyone to like micromanage everybody all day. So it's like if his like managed bar gets to 0, something happens. Like he quits or like he gets fired or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And they could have needs like Sims too. Like they still have to eat snacks and lunch and stuff.
Yes, the legally mandated 15-minute breaks, which would be timer tasks in the break room, which is intentionally far away from everything else so that when they take these breaks,
it's like
it's actually really bad for you.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to let them do it for 15 minutes in game time, but it also takes time to walk there and get back, and you can't just tell them to go there. You have to physically walk them there. Yeah, micromanaging is not good.
No.
Please don't micromanage. If you're a manager, please don't micromanage.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. What's your game idea?
My game is called, this is barely a game, so good luck. This is called...
Barely a game?
No, it's not called that, but...
Does it have bears?
No, but it does have animals.
Okay, all right, okay.
So it's called BeeBeeBee, Better Bees-ness Bureau.
Okay, all right, okay.
And you play as a bee.
Okay.
But you're like, it's like Gordon Ramsay. So you're an inspector bee.
And you go hive to hive.
And
see the conditions.
And make improvements on the hives based on how bad they are.
I actually like that.
And you try to bring their BBB rating up.
Okay. So like you're going around the hive and there's like violations like loose honey on the floor.
Yeah. Or like unorganized comb structures.
Like there's some combs that are just cubes instead of hexagons. And you're like, no, this is unacceptable.
Yeah,
unacceptable.
So you have to find all the violations and like fix them and then you move on to the next hive. Mm-hmm. Like it's like each hive is a different puzzle basically. So it's kind of like puzzle solving.
Okay.
I guess at the base of it because you have to find and solve the fixes and then you get.
Do you have to pay for the fixes?
No, they pay you to be there.
Okay.
So maybe you could also like buy cool upgrades for yourself with like the money you make from.
Okay. All right. But you do the upgrades, like you do the fixes?
Yeah.
Or do you just point them out?
I think you do them. I think that's more fun.
Okay. All right. So you show up.
Yeah. I guess it's less like Gordon Ramsay then and more like
Bar Rescue.
Like Property Brothers or something. Oh yeah. Bar. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Nice. Is there an option to, I don't know what you would call it, condemn a hive, like basically shut it down, like this is too far gone?
I mean, I think there should be, but I think it should be disincentivized because, like, if you do that, you won't get any money.
Oh, yes, correct. Yeah, it
And
would
the
be like
bees
an
would be,
ultimately bad
yeah,
result.
if you're like, so I think that is fun if it's always an option. So if you get frustrated, you can just say, like, I guess not, but it should be, like, not encouraged.
Okay.
And the bees there would be really mad because they'd have to leave.
Yeah, they'd have to go work somewhere else. That could also
They'd
be another
swarm.
thing. Like, obviously, maybe there's some violations where just the workers are to blame and you have to do some, oh God, you have to do some layoffs. Oh, geez. No, never blame the worker. It's never the worker's problem. It's always the corpo.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. In this case, the queen.
Yeah.
You're getting very workers' rights this episode.
You got to. It's about business.
It is. That's
How
true.
else are we gonna?
True.
We have to lambast. We have to lampoon. We have to satirize.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We can't just unironically business.
Right. Right. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, it's very basic. That's all I could come up with. Because again, I also didn't like, as you had the same thought, I didn't want to make like a tycoon game because we do that all the time.
So is the mechanic, all right, you enter a hive, you get to explore around, it's got different rooms. And then do you have to like manually identify issues in some way? Like you have to like flag them, or like you come into a room, the game shows you that there's an issue and then you resolve it? Or
I think you have to flag them. I think that's what makes it more of a puzzle.
okay.
Because I guess you aren't the Better Business Bureau. You like
are an inspector for it.
yeah, well, not even necessarily for it. Like you're getting people up to
Okay.
snuff, right? Like Gordon Ramsay doesn't work for like the like health inspector.
Okay.
So I think you're like a consultant they hired to get them up to snuff. And because of that, like once you're finished with a hive, you'll get a report, and if it still doesn't get like an A, that means you missed something.
Okay. Do you envision this as being like hidden from the player as they're engaging in it until the end, until the report, or do you envision this as being like a bar at the top of the screen that you fill up?
I think until the report, I think that's more fun.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you just have to.
Yeah.
Okay. And then wait, is the report another inspector comes in and double checks your work?
Well, no, because remember, it's like Animal Crossing Happy Home Academy.
Yeah.
Like in this one, you play as the person building, like putting the home together, and then Happy Home Academy is coming in to say if your home gets a good score or not.
Okay. So you're not an inspector.
Right.
You're like a contractor.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I mean,
contractor, like you can still have consulting inspectors who know what to look for.
Gotcha.
For this particular rating of your hive in BeeBeeBee Better Bees-ness Bureau.
Okay. All right.
Does that work?
I'm down to bees-ness.
Okay. Yeah, I did think about that too. Getting down to bees-ness.
How could you
2020 hive.
2020 hive. It's the year of our bees.
It's not, unfortunately.
It could be.
It could have been.
Wait, what is the actual? It wasn't Tummy Buddy Life.
Even though I
have been feeling the Tummy Buddy Life.
I've said Tummy Buddy Life so much since we heard that phrase.
What did they settle on? It was bad, right?
Yeah, it was 2020 Drive. Oh, 20 Thunder Drive. Fear something about not fearing anything. 20 Thunder Drive.
I haven't been feeling that as much
No,
as Tummy. I'm feeling Tummy Buddy a little right now, if you know what I mean.
Same. Yeah. And by the way, this is the name of the year from
the McElroys. The Mabim.
And I do think they flubbed this one because they came up with Tummy Buddy Life. They weren't brave enough to stick with it.
Yeah, their wives made them stop, and it's like, is that a toxic marriage? I don't know. From the outside, looks like it might be.
I would let you keep Tummy Buddy Life.
That's what I'm saying.
Can we put that in the vows?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
If you came home and said, this year's Tummy Buddy Life, I'll always say, all right.
I won't even give a mean look about it.
Nope.
I won't even sneer a little bit and say, you sure?
Yeah, I won't even question it.
You sure about that?
Cool. Yeah, if you didn't know, listeners, we are getting married in a very short amount of time.
2 weeks?
2 weeks from this recording, yeah.
All right, now's the time to do a discussion
Yes.
of some sort. We've bantered enough.
Yeah, we
No
love a
more
little
beanter.
banter, but we know you
I
all want to
tried.
get to
It
the
didn't
point.
work.
No. Buzzter. Nope.
No.
Nope. Okay, so my discussion today is inspired by Baldur's Gate 3, which we have been playing. 32 hours, right? Wasn't that 36 hours?
Oh, I have not been paying attention.
I thought it said something, but
that
maybe not.
sounds about right.
All right.
Oh, wow, and we're still in Act 1.
Big game.
I guess we just entered Act 2, I believe. I'm actually not sure, because I read online that it, like, tells you in big, bold letters when you enter a new act.
Okay, if that's true, then no, we didn't.
But I don't know if that's actually true, because, okay, this is going to be a slight diversion, but I do want to say Baldur's Gate 3 and what is talked about online. Okay.
Doesn't match. Sometimes.
When people talk about Baldur's Gate 3 online, I don't even know what to compare it to. They compare it to it's like, I don't know. It is a completely different game than what I experienced. The game that I actually experienced when I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 is more akin to Goat Simulator than anything else. Like I described it to a friend. I was like, I was expecting a game with jank, like Bethesda, like RPGs, like Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas. What Baldur's Gate more and more feels like every time we play it, it's jank with a game built around it.
I kind of have to disagree, but I guess I have less experience. I don't know. I don't know. It's not bothering me.
It's not necessarily bothering me, but it's just
there are a lot.
There are things that bother me, but it's mostly because like I'm going into this expecting a masterpiece.
So that's probably
like a revolutionary, game-changing experience. And then I'm seeing Goat Simulator.
It is kind of like like it was so hyped up, and I guess the story's really good.
Nobody ever talks I do not see people talking about, oh yeah, I tried to move my character on like a very obvious path, but they jumped directly into lava and instantly died.
Or I was just walking along the edge of something and the game decided I fell down and then I was encumbered so I couldn't stand up.
No, not only the game decided that I fell down. Okay, a game that doesn't have mechanics for like falling off cliffs like accidentally or anything. Like if you walk into a cliff, you can walk straight into the cliff forever. You will never fall off. You have to like specifically jump down. Never press the jump button. Character appeared at the bottom all of the sudden.
No health.
No, I was full health.
Oh, and then
I took 10 steps and then I exploded.
And then you took the fall damage and then you couldn't get up because you were encumbered.
And then I couldn't get
up. And so
we
all had to figure out how to get you because you were. Oh, and then you walked into lava and immediately died after we saved you.
Yes.
Okay, I guess this is like a whole other discussion though, but the reason I don't mind it, I think, is because I think it's really funny. Like, it doesn't bother me because I think it's really funny.
It's just so bewildering.
Yeah, that this was like, game of the year, like best game ever.
Yes,
like,
nobody talks about all of this jank. They talk about how much they're having fun making a new character and romancing Shart again. And it's like, okay... That's all there is to this game.
Shadowheart is what he's talking about.
Okay,
folks.
Yeah. But like it also works because she worships Shar.
No, I know.
So Shart, thank you.
Was this a family-friendly podcast?
Yes.
Okay. So
what?
I'm just telling people what it means.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that I just get increasingly bewildered every time the conception of this game from the online conversation around it just like what do you call it?
It's the Paris syndrome.
It is a little bit the Paris syndrome. It's a little bit the Paris syndrome. If I saw more posts, because like when Skyrim came out, everybody was posting like, oh, you put a basket on the NPC's head and you can steal everything in their house. And you're like, okay, I understand what a giant smacks you and you skyrocket into the air 100 miles. Okay, 100%. People are talking about it. I have never seen somebody talk about, oh, if you try to move up to an enemy, it won't work. But if you do the attack command on an enemy, the game will make your character walk a path that you could not walk on its own. And you will be able to do it, but only if you do it that specific way. If you try to just do a normal walk, absolutely not. If you do an attack walk, oh yeah, the game loves it every single time. Nobody, just people, please talk about the jankiness more so that I don't feel like I'm a crazy person. I don't feel like I've got like the bad copy of the game.
No, I do think maybe because I saw less about it. I saw a lot about it, but I do think you're right. I think people it's because they like the story and the romance and all that stuff. I don't think they really are talking about gameplay that much. But we're gonna have to like let's
step back
an entire episode for our true honk and bonk of this game once we are further along. Like maybe a special, like a holiday special.
that would be pretty funny, just because like it's several years after the initial hype, and we're like, all right, we're doing the Baldur's Gate episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be an hour and a half to talk about Baldur's Gate 3, the game that just came out, definitely, and it's like December 2025. Yeah, look forward to that, folks. I think that'll be good. Patreon exclusive.
Yes. No, I don't know. Pay money for it.
We don't have a Patreon yet, but okay. Cool. So the discussion today is about Baldur's Gate 3, not about kind of about the jank. I don't know. So we ended up in this tower that we were supposed to get something from.
Mushrooms and
stuff.
Yeah,
mushrooms for a
spoiler alert, a mind flayer wanted us to make a potion.
Yeah, I mean, I think just spoilers for Baldur's Gate.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, if you really don't want to be spoiled, I wouldn't listen
I
to
just
us.
wanted I mostly said that to contextualize for people who have played Baldur's Gate 3 to more set the scene for them.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a good warning if like you really don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
But it is, again, super new game, cutting edge. So so you have to get mushrooms for this guy. It's part of a side quest, and the mushrooms are only in this creepy tower. So we go to the creepy tower. Now, what happened was when we entered the tower, we were on a certain floor, and in order to ignite the tower, because it had like mechanical stuff, and to explore the rest of it, we jumped down from that floor to the ground floor using a spell called Featherfall, so we didn't
to turn on the elevator.
And I was saying, like, wow, we must have done it backwards because we should have ended up on that first floor. Because then we wouldn't have had to use Featherfall. We could just start the machine. But then there's something where it's like, well, we had to have activated something on the top floor to do it.
No, I don't think it was that. Okay. I think it was just like we looked around the bottom area and there was no other access
we weren't totally
point.
Sure about that, but like you seemed pretty sure about that.
I think that we investigated
so then
it pretty
Isaac says,
clearly.
like, well, we couldn't have gotten through there. We went through the way we were supposed to. And then I said, but we had to use Featherfall. And he was like, yeah. And to me, I guess the issue to me and what I was thinking about is like, to complete this quest, granted it is a side quest, but to complete the quest, you need Featherfall to do it. And it doesn't like tell you that. And you don't like get a scroll of Featherfall from the guy giving you the quest. So it's like, you just have to know to use it to do this. Like,
yeah.
So I think that was, and he's like, but that's okay. And I'm like, is it? So that's the discussion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do think that it's okay. Also, now, as a note, you don't need Featherfall because you could also Dimension Door down. You could Misty Step down.
Misty Step, yeah.
If you had some, I think monks have like a slow fall effect around the level that we were at. So like they might be able to jump down and survive.
And eat the damage.
Raging Barbarian might have resistance to fall damage. I
think
actually don't know.
Karlak did. Oh, well, that's another jank thing, but you can like scan an area to pick up weapons. And there was a weapon on a lower floor.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't notice, so I clicked pick it up, and then my character took fall damage trying to get to the weapon.
Yeah, like, because the character jumped down 100 feet and was like,
it shouldn't have shown up then. But anyway.
No, it should not have been in your search range.
The point was that was a barbarian, and they did survive it, so.
Yeah, so like there are technically other ways to resolve it, Featherfall being the easiest because you can do it as a group.
Yeah.
Is the major thing. So the reason why I think that this is okay is you've kind of already talked about it. It is a side quest. It's not required for progression. There are multiple ways to resolve it, even beyond like the best one. And I just think in general it's okay to like gate some content behind certain things. Like let me put it this way. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a Waddle Dee hidden behind an ice block.
Yeah.
So you need fire to do that. You haven't really complained about that. You haven't said, well, I should be able to get to that Waddle Dee without fire.
Okay, but that's a great example because usually when there's a situation like that, you'll have a fire monster a couple feet ahead. So you have the option to get the fire copy ability. Now, if you didn't get it and you move on and you can't access that Waddle Dee, that's, too bad, too sad. But you can also replay the level because it's not an open world game and you can get that fire guy. Like, they will set you up for success in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I guess I feel like it was missing the escape room clue. So my issue isn't that there's multiple ways to solve it. That's fine. But they should have like a scroll of Featherfall like hidden in a bookshelf next to the cliff you're supposed to jump off of. Like I think you should be given the means and the hint at the puzzle.
Yeah, because I guess just getting a Featherfall scroll wouldn't be that uncommon.
Yeah, we find them a lot.
Because, okay, you get the Featherfall scroll, you're looking around, you see the cliff, you see the floor at the bottom.
You piece it together.
That doesn't feel like piece it together. That feels and this might just be me being a brain genius.
You are a brain genius.
Just feels like that might as well be exactly equivalent to a pop-up appearing and saying, use the scroll of Featherfall and jump down now. Like,
I don't think it is to most people.
Okay.
As obvious
so
as
it
that.
is me being a brain genius.
I think so. Because,
okay, cool,
I think
cool.
I think it's fine. Because yeah, if you... So where I'm coming from is like, I've played D&D only a little and I don't really know... I don't think I've ever used Featherfall in a game of D&D. So if I was playing alone without my brain genius fiance, I don't know that I would have gotten down there.
You don't think so? You would have explored that tower and been like, oh, well, I guess I'll come back to this later from a different angle.
Well, because I was already trying to like, can I use rope? Can I do that? Like,
yeah.
Like I had.
In real D&D, you just would have been able to use rope. I don't know why Baldur's Gate 3 makes no attempt that I'm aware of. Maybe I've just been missing an option.
Well, it gives us a crap ton of rope, and then I never can use it. I've looked for rope opportunities. There aren't any that I've seen. But anyway, so
Baldur's Gate, come on.
So I've been and there was a ton of rope at the edges. So I was doing the thing.
Oh, was there really?
Yes. So I was like, we're gonna grappling down there. Like that's what we're gonna do. And then there was no way to do that. And then you're like, let's just Featherfall. I was like, oh, I guess so. Yeah. Are you looking up if we can rope?
Yeah. So I'm looking up to see if there's some option that we somehow missed. That's like, oh yeah.
So I guess the reason
if you go to your inventory on the third moon of a Tuesday,
I guess the reason that is as a newer player of both RPGs like this and D&D and like the D&D mechanics, I think if I was playing alone, I would need extra help to figure out a way to get down or to figure out that I even should get down. Not that I couldn't, like you said, there's lots of ways. Like I know about Misty Step. I know like. Again, you could just jump and take a potion as long as you don't completely die. Like there's like a lot of things you could do to get down there, but I think just indicating that you should go down is important.
Yeah. I guess the other way that here's another way you could have solved it. And I don't know if you would have ever been able to figure it out just based on context clues. I think this might be a hindsight solution, but it's powered by an anti-magic flower from the first floor.
Yep.
Oh, no, you need to bring it to the first floor. I was going to say, if you bring the anti-magic flower, you can put it in on the floor that you start at.
Yeah,
but you need to get to the basement anyways.
And that's a part where, like, it was obvious because there were anti-magic flowers around.
And shriveled ones, like, at the engine.
Which
you're
was
right,
the clue
you're right.
of, like, oh, duh, we put these in the engine, right? Like, that was... Oh, okay, get it. So, like, that's why... And I think especially because it's we're still in Act 1. I think an Act 2 puzzle can be harder and more obtuse. But I think at this point, I still would like a little hand-holding with what I'm capable of. Like, what if someone never used a Featherfall scroll? This would be a great way to push them to, like, try using scrolls. Like, try using something else. Like, So anyway, that's my opinion on it. But I think you describing the other ways we could have solved it is helpful too. Or like, I probably could have figured it out alone. Just would have taken me longer without my genius.
And I mean, there is some level of people who like just will give up and move on. And I think that is also fine because you don't need to experience 100% of the entire game on your first playthrough.
Yeah. I was going to say, because I'm like, there are people out there who feel they do need to experience 100%.
There are, yes, but that is
not
a
us.
certain brain type. Yeah. I like to get as much as I can in a single playthrough because I'm not the type to replay games or rewatch movies or anything in general. I don't like to redo these
But we just started
deals.
rewatching Gravity Falls.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't think too hard about it.
You don't want to?
And so like I try to maximize like what I can when I can. Even like even with easy fast travel, it's like, oh, I have to teleport back to Act 1, and if I want to get the Moonflower of Arcadis or whatever. I don't even remember what the prize. I don't think the prize for this tower was that good, except for like the cutscene with the Mind Flayer afterwards. I think that was like the real reward.
Yeah. No,
you
we
found
got
a magic
room. We got a cool magic ring or something.
But did any of us equip it?
I thought you did.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, that's right. I got the ring that gives me the thing where if someone's about to die, they don't die.
Yeah, so like,
which would have been useful if I put it on Gale.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna have to trade Gale.
Yeah, we're gonna upgrade Gale to Shart. That's our plan, folks. That's the Baldur's Gate 3 update. I can't call her anything else. I can't call her government name because I don't approve of her government. Okay?
All right.
So I'm going to call her a nickname. And we'll work on that whole Shar thing, you know?
I'm sad that that's going to be a big part of the game. That's not just a side quest.
What do you mean?
The Shar stuff.
Oh. Is it going to be a big part of the game?
I thought you said it was. I thought you said it was like all of Act 2.
No, I said that so we had quests that we were trying to finish up because the pop-up said you can't come back, even though we totally could go back after we went past the pop-up. But anyways, there was several quests involving the Temple of Shar, which we saw in the distance, but we couldn't find a way to get to. I looked it up and it said, you can't do that till Act 2. So I was like, okay, we can move on and don't have
sorry.
to do
I
these.
misinterpreted that and I thought like the whole Act 2 was going to be a Shar quest. And I was
no,
man.
No, not that I'm aware of. No, I just know that we revisit the temple that we saw in the distance in Act 2. We can't get to it in Act 1. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough talking about Baldur's Gate 3. We've talked about a couple different Baldur's Gate 3 topics.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate, just to try to, I like to sometimes, you may have noticed, close the loop on things and tie a little bow on it, make sure that we all understand the takeaway here.
That's what this show's all about.
The major takeaway that we were trying to do, and this is like the generic game design thing, is it is okay to design things that require a certain solution without making that solution super obvious, but a lot of people need or want that super obvious hint. So weigh carefully, how secret do you want this cool thing to be? Do you want the majority of people to find it without a guide, or do you want people to either need to be super smart brain geniuses like me, or need a guide written by a super smart brain genius like me? Like, weigh that carefully. If you make this whole tower dungeon with rewards and like its own storyline and stuff, how accessible do you want that to be? That is a very important game design decision that you are going to have to make, and just be deliberate about it. Don't just be throwing stuff in there, which is often the moral of the story with many game design things. But that is the generic game design. That is what we can glean from this real situation in Baldur's Gate 3 into our day-to-day game design lives. Now what do?
Now we do something called the rapid fire round, which is where we generate 3 random words. We come up with a game idea based on those 3 words. We also need a gameplay loop and a name for that game, and we only have 5 minutes to do all of that. Are you ready with the timer?
Yeah, and I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1, go.
I have some really good words.
Okay. I like it when you start with that.
Criminal.
Ooh.
Cheap.
Ooh.
Lock.
Okay. Are the locks cheap?
I don't know, but it is a lock-picking game.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That is my favorite. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, that is my favorite thing to do as a rogue. I have an insane skill to lockpick.
It's like, a casual +7 or something.
I'm like, AC class 20? Psh, got it. No sweat. And I can also
a lot just happened there. AC class.
Sorry, yeah,
20.
you're right. Sorry.
First of all, it's DC.
Oh, sorry.
C stands for class. You just called it an ATM machine, but
No.
you said okay, the BTM machine. No. Anyways, we're burning time.
Yeah.
Lock picking
crap.
game.
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking like maybe I don't know where I was going with it. I think like it could be that the locks somewhere are cheap so that you can get into them easier, or you replace good locks with cheap ones that you can break later, or I don't know. Maybe I don't know this game, but I thought I did.
Okay, maybe it is a lock picking. So it's definitely a lock picking game.
Yeah.
All right, and maybe the cheap is kind of, you know how in video games locks have different levels. Sometimes the DC level, sometimes the AC level. Sorry, the AC class.
Okay, wait, yeah, because AC armor class, and then DC is difficulty class, and then C is class. Okay,
yes. Yeah,
we got there, everybody.
Okay. So like different locks have different levels. So like it's level 1 to 100, and depending on like your character skill, or it basically defines how difficult that lock would be to pick. So cheaper locks are obviously lower. This is kind of like moving away from cheap and just kind of like, here we can justify it, but it's not going to be integral to our game.
Yeah.
So locks will obviously run the gamut from
and maybe
cheap
it's also
to
like
extremely expensive.
Like the more expensive the lock, the more expensive your lock pick. So you have to steal enough to upgrade. I
was definitely thinking that like you get money from these criminal burglary jobs, which you then use to get more intricate lock picking equipment. Because like some locks, you just need to have a bobby pin.
Right.
Those are the cheap ones.
Credit card
to get through a door. But as you get on, you need like the stethoscope and stuff. I don't even know what other lockpick tools there are, but I know that there is large sets that you can get.
Like you put it in, and then you have the little pin thing, and you tap the pin.
Yep. You've got all that stuff,
tap,
and you just get all of that until you're doing legendary scores where you're going through museum laser systems.
Yep.
Like in all the movies.
I think one thing we have to decide before we wrap it is what is the lock picking game mechanic? Like,
I think it depends on the lock.
Okay.
I think the cheapness or level of the lock determines what it is. So like you said, there's like the basic like credit card. It is just a basic hinged door lock.
But like, what are you doing as the player with like controllers and stuff? Like, is it VR?
For the hinge? For like the credit card one, I'm thinking it's just a swipe of the mouse down.
Oh, so it's a PC game?
I'm thinking PC game. You could also do it with a controller, but
you could do like almost a rhythm like WSD thing, like for like the tricky like little pin ones.
Yeah. And Fallout has a pretty cool. Fallout and Oblivion have pretty cool lockpicking mini games where you've got, it's like the L-shaped tool, and you spin it around, and then you have the screwdriver to twist. So that the L-shaped tool, I guess, is the lockpick itself. And then it's figuring out which area to put it.
There's an interesting lock opening mechanic in Lego Star Wars, the game. I'm remembering now. The Fallout reminded me of it. It's very similar, where like you have like interlocking circles, and you have to align them in the right way. And I think there always would be a timer in our game because you're robbing something. Right. So it's like someone will figure it out. Okay.
What's it called?
Name it. Pick Me.
Pick Me?
No, that sounds like Pikmin, but like.
Okay, no, but okay.
Locked and unlocking the unlock.
What if it's unlocking? What if it's just unlocking? If they call it unpacking, they can call it unlocking.
I like it. I'm good
okay,
with that.
15 seconds left. I'm glad you liked it because we were out of time.
Oh boy! All right. Well, are you ready for our next 3 words?
Yes, and I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Relaxation, angel. Yes, I was checking to make sure it wasn't angle. It's angel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And praise.
Oh, okay. This is Heaven Tycoon.
Yes.
You play.
Have we done that before?
I think that we've done something similar, but in this, I want maybe not Tycoon, but you are specifically an angel whose task it is to help souls exist in paradise.
Okay.
So they have needs. You meet their needs.
Okay.
and
and you get praise points. So when you meet their needs, you get praise points, and then that.
And sometimes their need is praising them, so you get like an option.
I thought of praise as like they're praising the Lord for their great bounty.
Yes, that is
Okay.
something also that they do. But I like the idea of a mini game where like sometimes like people just need a little positive reinforcement, so it gives you like a couple options of phrases to say, and you kind of just have to guess which one's going to work on them.
Yeah.
For people who get this reference, I'm kind of thinking of the Persona 5, and I think it's in other Persona games, but Persona 5, you can talk to the monsters in the game, and depending on which option you choose, as far as I can tell, it's kind of random, even between like different types of monsters. There's no like all werewolves like it when you negotiate with them kind of thing. Anyways, you pick a couple different options. There's like always 3 options, and if you pick the right one, you either get money or they'll like join you. And if you do a bad one, they just continue the fight. So that's what I'm thinking of for like the praise mini game.
All right.
Where it gives you like options, and then you can throw in some comically stupid ones that you would never pick for fun and japes. And I always like fun and japes.
Yes.
And then other things are like doing like the Paradise fan waving thing while people sit down, feeding them grapes.
Wow. I mean,
playing music.
Spa.
Yeah. So basically a bunch of minigame tasks.
Just like your game.
Just like my game, only you are only playing one person, and it's just like
you just
get
also
more
not.
and more that you have to keep up.
Yeah.
And if you fail, you become a fallen angel. You get punished.
Yeah.
You get sent to the underworld.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's it called?
Paradise for thee.
Paradise. It's not paradise for us, though.
No, it's paradise for thee. The title is spoken from the perspective of your character.
Right, but like if you're walking in a game store and you see it, what do you think? It's a paradise for you, the reader of the title?
Well, I look at it and I see the back, and the blurb says, "You are an angel in heaven."
It should be called Paradise Found. I'm your angel.
I can be your angle or your devil.
Yes.
I think Paradise Found is something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Paradise Lost is something.
Right.
So Paradise Found just seems like the obvious.
Okay.
Somebody already did that one. Angel.
The angle
angel feather. Angels in the outfield.
No, I think that one's already taken too.
And where's the outfield come into this one? Okay.
It's like angel service.
Paradiddle. That is a tap dancing term.
And it's also a drumming term.
Oh,
it's the same rhythm in tap and drums. Fun fact.
Is drumming a part of paradise?
If you like drumming, yes.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But I don't know. Okay. Dance paradise.
I don't think there's that much dancing going on.
At your service.
Paradicicle.
Wait.
It's supposed to be like a play on paradoxical.
But it's not a paradox.
So no, it is, because heaven, you make it great for other people, but it kind of sucks for you.
It also kind of sounds like a popsicle, though.
Oh.
What? Wait. I had something and I lost it at Paradicicle because I was like, is there anything with hospitality that we could do? Because you basically are like a hospitality angel.
We have 10 seconds. Did we like any of the names?
I guess it's Paradicicle.
Paradicicle. That was the close. That was the one we liked the most.
It was the one I remembered the best.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I don't know. I liked Paradise for Thee. I think. I know. To your point, like, okay, the game store title.
I don't
test.
know. I don't. Yeah, that one's not sitting with me. But you know what? Sometimes
it's yeah. All right.
You and I round. Both sometimes we diverge on our titles, and that's okay.
Which is okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. All right. I'm starting it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Dramatic.
Dramatic.
Dramatic. Education.
Okay.
Property.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How do we turn that one mega church's Easter plays thing into... Basically, I want the game to be... How do we make the gameplay scraping the file or filing the serial numbers off of...
We kind of did this on our
plays?
very first episode with Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah. Were your cows?
Your cows putting on a musical. I don't remember the
Yes.
gameplay there, but it was...
Did we come up with a game idea for like actually like filing off the like not
I think
infringing?
there was a mechanic for the play, and it might have been that there was like tropes that you select. I mean that was like literally 4 years ago, so I cannot remember.
It was too far ago.
I only remember the title because it's our first episode, so it's the most listened to episode, so I see it all the time in the analytics.
Maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe people should start listening to a newer one.
Yeah, but you know, if you're already here, you either know that or have gotten all the way this far. Yeah. So okay, so okay, wait. Educational. I'm just education. Why is it? Where's educational coming?
Because you are a high school theater class, and so the reason you're filing the serial numbers off
because of
you can't afford the license to do real plays,
but you want to give kids a drama education.
Yes.
So now we're gonna. Okay, so yeah, what would be the mechanic for that though?
Yeah, and like obviously the score would be based on how well you do the play without infringing on the property, on the intellectual property.
Yeah, with that. Okay, I could see this as a game with a lot of expansion packs. Maybe each game, like the base game, is one single musical.
Okay.
And then you get expansion packs.
Oh, and so musical. You play through like the entire arc of a musical of like casting, etc.
Yeah.
And maybe the filing
that way it can like match things better, you know, like that was too close to cats.
Okay. Well, also I'm thinking if we do it that way, we can kind of like hard code the filing of serial numbers off of it, and like so it's not a thing that the player actually does, but it's part of the plot line of each. Like this is the cats episode, so we are just making clearly fake cats. Right.
Dogs, another McElroy reference.
Okay, and so it's like a choose your own adventure kind of visual novel style game.
And you can pick the serial things that you pick, right? Like you could be producing like dogs or like hamsters or like pigeons.
Yeah.
Instead of cats.
Okay.
And then each choice you make, because if it is an adventure game, then like each choice you make has an impact on the final production. Or is that or did I go too far? Did I lose the plot?
No, I like it. I actually yeah. So like the points where there's potential divergence are like hard locked.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the most part, it is like you described, like playing through a production of a musical.
Okay. Yeah, with the casting and the rehearsal, and there's like various hurdles that you have to go through.
Yeah, and you can buy expansions for multiple musicals.
Okay. Oh, here's where it is. So the choices that you make, all of your choices are divergences from the intellectual property. So you can't accidentally pick to keep the intellectual.
Oh yeah.
So the game is hard coded to like,
yes.
You can choose dogs, cats, or dogs, pigeons, or horses.
Right.
You cannot choose cats because.
But if you choose horses, then you have to figure out then your costume budget goes way up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like this. And then each choice tells you like what its pros and cons are.
But some things you have to only learn later.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's it called?
It's called Marquis Musicale.
Marquis Musicale?
It's called Play with Songs and Stuff.
Play with songs and stuff?
Because then it's like musical, but like with the
okay. Like you can't use the word musical.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with that one. I don't think it passes the title. The
I'm
Game
surprised
Shop
you went with
style.
it, so I'm assuming we had like 10 seconds left.
Oh, well, I don't want to say it, but we did have 8 seconds left.
Okay.
And that didn't fully have to do with
if
it.
we had more time, we could have refined plays with songs and stuff to be musical without the word musical. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're right. Like, I agree with you. It's not 100% there. I like the concept.
Yes. Okay. If the title box, right? If the game box shows the title and it's the word musicals, but with
crossed
a
out and then it
graffiti
says plays
crossed
with
out,
and stuff.
I think that drives home the point.
I like that. And then people can like acronym it on the computer with PWSAS. But what's ass?
What's ass?
Good. Great. Love that.
Okay, wait. Actually, oh no. I don't like that because that could be swears. That's what that would be.
I'm cutting that out. We're keeping it. I'm cutting it out.
You're cutting it?
Mm-hmm.
Aw. Okay.
Because I want it. I like the name. Okay. All right. Well, that's our show. We had fun. I hope you did too. You can find us at makethatgame.com. You can also email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. And if you heard a game today that you want to play, the only way to play it is if you make it. So you got to get out there and make that game.